Go ahead.
Jake, the day before a fight, this is not Nate Diaz, not Tyron Woodley. It's a different kind of a fight for you. What are the emotions like? How different is this fight being built been for you?
Yeah, it's very different. You know, it's not as crazy, not as much beef with my opponents, but you know, the mission is the same, and that's to get a W. And he's a very tough opponent, more experienced than me, more knockouts than me, more wins than me, more amateur experience than me. So we can't take him lightly, and I know he's going to come to fight.
What did you guys say to each other in the final face-off there?
Man, I was just saying he knows what's coming. There's nothing he could do better than me. So he's been doing it for longer, but he hasn't been doing it as good as I have.
Are you going to release the video of you dropping his coach?
I was going to, but then I just decided against it. Maybe after the fight, though.
The video does exist.
I DM'd it to August, but so that he could see personally.
A couple last things. Obviously, you're involved with the PFL. They're making some huge moves right now. Signing the Bellator fighters and getting everybody over. Dana White said that they're not worried about it. He's basically saying one crappy promotion that sells no tickets is buying another promotion with crappy sales and no ratings. How do you respond to that? And what have you made of this new deal, and how does it affect you?
It's a massive deal, of course. You know, Dana's going to say that to protect his business, but the UFC is falling. You know, like, what big fights are they putting on? Their biggest star and the heavyweight champion of their organization came to the PFL for better opportunities, and the fighters are going where the better opportunities are. That's what, you know, 2023, 2024 is all about, and the PFL is the best place for fighters. So, you know, ESPN crushing it, massive numbers, and they just keep on getting bigger and bigger. New investments, you know, infused into the company. So just massive plans, massive things going on, and Dana White's concerned, trust me.
And then last thing for me, you talk about this year and heading into 2024 being a legacy year, building to become a boxing world champion. You talked about competing in MMA sometime next year. Is that still the plan, or are you still focusing on boxing, hoping that Nate Diaz signs a dotted line?
Yeah, no, I would do it if Nate Diaz would sign the contract, but he just doesn't seem to want to actually make the fight happen. So for now, it's a focus on boxing for 2024.
Jake, last fight you came out in a literal tank. You got anything fun planned for tomorrow night?
I got some secrets, you know. We'll see what happens, but you're going to have to take a look at the free-to-play Better app to guess what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
Jake, you know, you called out Canelo the other day. How realistic is that fight for you, and how long do you think it will take to get to him?
I think it's very, very realistic. You know, and people may think that sounds crazy, but Canelo is a smart businessman, and at the end of the day, he wants to do big fights and make, you know, entertainment, make huge entertainment products. And my skill set is improving every single day, and that's what doing fights like this are about, taking on real professional fighters. So that eventually I could take on tougher fighters, and I see Canelo versus Jake Paul happening in the next 24 months.
I talked to Rolly last night, and he said he fucks with that fight. So he wants it to happen.
No, for sure. I think Rolly's been saying it's going to happen for like years now. It just makes so much sense, and also people forget that, you know, I'm 200 pounds. I have a size advantage. All of these things that start to add up, which make it such an interesting fight that I fully believe I'll win.
You know, this is an interesting opponent for you. You know, is your goal to go for that title versus the entertainment fights?
No, for sure. You know, this is a different route that I'm taking. It's acting like a young boxing prospect and getting the experience under the lights on my road to world champion. And I have world champion dreams just like any other young boxing prospect, and that's what my goal and vision has been the whole entire time. If we want to make some big fights happen with some big names and do fun events, I do enjoy that stuff too, sure. But for now, I'm going to be focused on fighting real pro boxers that you probably haven't heard of. But that's the steps I need to take to become a world champion.
Respect, Jake.
Jake, Kevin Garcia with Fight Hype. Just a question. So outside of Canelo, you win this fight. What kind of trajectory are you on in 2024? Who are some of these fighters that we may see you in the ring with? Or who have you maybe been planning to fight outside of a big fight with like a Canelo?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's so many bigger names out there. You know, there's the KSIs, the Tommy Furies, the Nate Diaz MMA fight, but I don't know if these guys actually want to put it on the line. You know, we've tried to make a Floyd fight happen. Floyd's ducked it. So I don't know if these guys really want to take a risk. But at the end of the day, we're going to go back to the drawing board and see what other challenges there are out there and continue to improve the level of opposition that I go up against, which is what I've done my whole career. It's going up against someone where it's a 50-50 matchup and proving myself right, getting better, and then taking another challenge and step forward. So that's what it's really all about.
Thanks, Jake.
Hey Jake, can you talk about the camp you had today? I mean, like your camp recently preparing for this fight. Has it been different than any other camps, or you went straight into it? How was that?
Yeah, no, it was really good to stay active and to just go back to back and to stay in shape during that period and just working hard as usual and training, you know, as hard as possible on a day-to-day basis. My team is always really pushing me.
All right, one more question.
Fight prediction?
First round KO.
How many robots you walking out with?
14 robots. All right.
Jake, you had Dirk there last time, and anybody walking you out this time?